Hey everybody, yo, Jay Wade here. Not a no pause reaction. We got something different here. Okay, so I was on a road trip here recently. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Lots of time to think, lots of time to listen to the radio and whatnot. And on there they advertised this Louder Than Life festival coming up here this year in where is it? Louisville, Kentucky, September 18, 19, 2021. So like many of these festivals, like Sonic Temple or Ink, was it Incarnation or something? Incarnation. Um, it's like there are so many bands, right? There's like at least two or three, 4 or 5 stages and shit. Like 3 days, sometimes four, and like a lot of bands. Most of the time, I look at the list of bands playing the schedules, right? And I'm like, well, okay, I don't know who over half of these people are. So when I hear this advertisement for Louder Than Life, they say there's like about like 160 bands or more are going to be there. And I'm like, well, okay. Out of 160 bands, surely I have to have at least heard of half of them, right? And we're not talking like, I'm not saying like, yeah, like I know I've heard one of their songs. I'm just saying, have I ever heard the name of this band? Whether I've heard their music or not, okay? So there's that level. Then I think it would be interesting to figure out within of all of those bands that I have at least heard the name of, how many of those bands can I actually recall, like I'm aware that I've heard a song by them, okay? Then the next level I want to take it to is how, which of these bands do I personally like? Of the ones that I have heard the name of and that I know, then we'll break it down to ones that I've heard the song by. Then of the ones that I've heard a song by, which ones I actually personally, my taste, who I like and enjoy listening to. Then the final level of all of this will be me breaking down what we would then have left as my festival, which are comprised of the bands on this list of over 160 bands or whatever, the ones that I personally like and enjoy. That will be our festival. And we'll see how many bands we have on there out of 160 plus. This should be very interesting because I'm Gen X. I love metal and shit. Like, I seen Pantera twice, Zombie twice. I've seen Deftones, Korn, Helmet, uh, um, Ass Jack. That's a dude. Some of y'all get that one. Seen Ass Jack many times. Um, so like I've seen quite a few metal and heavy bands in concert. I've enjoyed it. I love it. I like a lot of heavy music, but I'm also kind of a heavy music snob, like not in a good way whatsoever. I have an issue where it all just sounds the same to me. Um and this is here, this will be my overview of how I view heavy metal and all that shit. Okay, here it is, and then we'll move on after that. This is the break it down for you guys, okay? The reason why I love Pantera so much is because it's heavy as shit. It's fucking brutally heavy, dude. I love it, right? The songs are actual songs. They are composed songs. Okay? There's a verse, chorus, bridge, all that shit, right? And Phil is screaming his lungs out, but you can understand every word he says. I love it. I love it. Okay. Now, on the flip side of that, you've got what I hear most of the time when you put on metal, regardless of who it is, most of the time, okay, all I hear is the guitars like, it's just like, just nonstop, just like one rhythm BS, dude. It gets on my damn nerves. And then the vocals is nothing but rah, rah, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know if they're saying anything. I honestly don't know. I can't stand it. Right? So that's what I mean when I say I'm like a metal snob. And so many of you guys are going to hate on me for this. And that's fine. Dude, I am throwing myself out there absolutely knowing that y'all are lions, and I'm putting myself into your den. I'm fully aware of that, but I don't care because I think it's funny. And I think this whole concept is funny of me taking 160 plus bands and narrowing it down to the ones that I've heard of, and then breaking it down to, out of 160, how many of those bands do I actually enjoy and like, and who would I go see? So that's what we're going to do here tonight, and we're about to get started with Thursday. This will be September 18th in Louisville, Kentucky. So let's get started, everybody. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. Here's the flyer for Louder Than Life. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Okay, so we'll go down here, like, I assume this is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, right here. And then 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we'll go Thursday and we'll go stage by stage. Okay, and I do have over here, you guys can't see it, but I have my little, my Word document thing pulled up so that I can keep track of who I have heard of and all that stuff that we just talked about. So, okay, let's do this, guys. So, and we will go from the bottom of the list up to the top, because I assume that the headliners are at the top of the list. So we'll go from like opening act to headliner. Okay. Louisville, Kentucky, September 18th, Thursday, stage 6. We've got Sickness. I've never heard of them. Imperial Tide, never heard of them. Big Ass Truck. I mean, I've never heard of them, but I'm trying to decide whether or not I care, but I'm erring on the side of caution and say that I don't care. Snuffed on Sight. Interesting name, but never heard of them. Mugshot, never heard of them. Peeling Flesh, never heard of them. They've probably watched Hostel too many times. Okay, now, I've got none of them. So we're moving on here to stage 5. If Not For Me, never heard of them. Colorblind, never heard of them. Landmarks, never heard of them. Catch Your Breath, never heard of them. Set It Off. I believe there's a 90s movie called that, but I've never heard of a band called Set It Off. I'm going to have to zoom this in. This is going to be awesome. So, cause some of these, I'm like, okay. The fonts that some of these bands use, dude, it's like, are you trying to make like middle-aged folks like me? Like, dude, come on. Like, I want to be able to read your band name, guys. You damn clouds. I'll be 46 next month. Let's see, we got Air-U, like Air, E-U, Air-U. I don't know, never heard of them. From Ashes to New. Never heard of them, but as far as like creative names for a metal band goes, you know, that's not bad, man. That's not bad. Okay. So we are now moving on to, what are we on? 1, 2, 3. Ew, we are only on stage 3 of day 1 of Louder Than Life, and I have not heard of any of the bands so far. So Stage 4. Or like 6, 5, 4. Yeah, stage 4. Okay. Guilt Trip. Never heard of them. Gideon. Never heard of them. Scowl. Never heard of them. Drain. Okay, hold on. Let's see, we got 6, 5, 4. Stage 4. Let me go over here to my list. Stage 4. I am putting Drain as maybe I've heard of them. Because the name sounds familiar, right? So if they're like a 90s, like a mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s ish, like new metal band, then maybe I've heard of them, but the name sounds familiar. But dude, we've got someone on the list, so like let's fucking go, baby. We have State Champs. No, I've never heard of them, and dude, that's if they're metal, I don't know, because like I don't know, dude. Who knows? We got rap and R&B and shit in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I ain't knocking that shit, dude. I'm a big fan of Tupac. Like, I'm stuck in the 90s with all of my music, but I have a wide range of music, like, you know, Tupac, Dre, Snoop, all that shit, early Eminem. Cool. But if State Champs is a metal band, dude, I hope you're young. That's all I gotta say. I hope you're a younger generation. You sure as shit better not be Gen X. Hold on. Okay, let's go. Hold on. Let's do a little research here. Everybody. What is it? State Champs band. Oh, the pop band? No. No. This says pop band. There's no effing way. No way. Dude, there's no way. No, hold on. Let me make it State Champs one word. Dude, an American pop punk band. Dude, whatever. Neck Deep, never heard of them. State Champs. That's so fucking stupid, dude. The Story So Far, have never heard of them. So we are on stage 3 now of day 1, and I've still only heard of one of these bands. That I think I've heard of. I think I've heard the name of one of them, which is Drain. We'll find out. Okay, so we are on stage 3 now here. Day 1. Not enough space. I mean, I'm thinking there's always something fun. I take very few things in life seriously, man. So many people take everything so seriously. Dude, I can't take much at all seriously. So every time I'm reading these names, there's always some sort of initial joke that pops into my head. Not enough space, never heard of them. Left to Suffer, never heard of them. Full of Hell. That's a lame name. Whatever. Sanguisugabog. I have never heard of that clearly, but we're gonna look that up here real quick. I don't know. That's an interesting name. Sanguisu. Okay, we got a band. At least it's like when you Google shit, and you type in a name. When I typed in State Champs, it said pop band underneath of it, and that's why I was like, wait a minute, like a pop band at this freaking like metal fest. Like I was like, dude, there's no right. At least when I'm looking up this band, which I'm not knocking on the name because I've never heard it before. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. It could be a word from another language. It could be a combination of words. I don't know. But my point here is that when I look it up on Google, it does not say pop band. It just says band. So there's some hope here. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Okay, is a American death metal band from Columbus, Ohio. Dude, it's like an hour and a half down the road, baby. For real, man. Hell yeah. Um, Interesting. Okay. Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Let's move it on down the road here. Never heard of them, but okay, cool. Brand of Sacrifice. Never heard of them. Kublai Khan. Never heard of them. Um, 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 we're looking at this one right here, everybody. Um, this is what I meant by the fonts, dude. Is it Shrine? Is that SHRINE? Torn? Is it? The fuck is that? Is that an L or Torn Shrine? Hold on, let's see what Torn Shrine. Um, um, dude, what the hell? See, that's what I'm talking about, man. And one, I don't care. And two, I don't care. And because one and two, I don't care. Three, I don't care. That's fucking stupid. Seriously, that's fucking stupid, man. Whatever, dude. Screw them. Um, Stage three, there ain't no one on there. Cause I can't freaking read. I can't even read. Well, there ain't no one anyway, but I mean, watch it be someone that I have heard of and I probably like have rocked out to one of their songs before at a buddy's house or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But because their freaking font is so stupid, it's the dude, metal is oh my gosh, dude. Fudge. Dude, some metal bands are like fucking artsy kids on fucking demon crack. Just like the theater kids that weren't accepted by the other popular theater kids got into metal, and y'all know what I'm saying. Freaking theater kids who were the freaking loser theater kids. That, you know what I'm saying? Turn to metal and they do all this. Everything's got to be theatrical and artsy and shit, dude. I can't even read the name of your effing band, dude. I just tried to Google it so I could see what the name was. Maybe, hell, maybe I could have checked it out and it would have been something fucking awesome. I can't even read the name of your effing band because you're a freaking artsy fucking theater geek of the fucking theater geeks, dude. Shit. I mean, a lot of tongue in cheek here, but a lot of like, come on, dude. Come on. At what point are we sacrificing the quality of the music for the art of the music? Anyway, the great thing is I really could not care less. Like, I mean, dude, whatever. I don't know who this band is, and I really don't care. But there is a lot of validity in that rant. There's a lot of validity in it. So moving on to stage 2 here, I can already tell that we're getting somewhere here. The Black Dahlia Murder, or no, I'm sorry. Dude, these band names are so wild these days. I'm sitting here thinking that the Black Dahlia Murder Fear Factory Fulci is the name of one band. But like, I know who Fear Factory is. I had tickets to go see one of their shows. And also, like, if I've seen one of these bands live, or I have a story that relates to their music or something like that, like, I'll share that too, you know what I'm saying? Which I have a little one for Fear Factory, but Fulci, never heard of them. Okay, Fear Factory, yes, clearly, I've heard of them. I had a ticket to go see them live once. I live, when I was growing up, a teenager and whatnot, I was northwest of Dayton, Ohio. And I had a ticket to see them at Bogart's down on Vine Street in Cincy. We're talking like late 90s, early 2000s maybe, like somewhere around in that area. And I made the drive down there. I was the only one who had a ticket. Like, no one else wanted to go, so I got a ticket, and I had 3 friends with me, and we partook in some extracurricular things, and they were just going to hang out with my car while I went to the show, right? Well, I got there what I thought was really late, and I'm like, dude, Fear Factory, like, they're probably half over by now, and I was kind of messed up, and I was like, well, screw it, like, I can't get out of this vehicle and actually enter the real world. I cannot bring myself to do that right now. So I went home. Turns out Fear Factory hadn't even gone on yet. I talked to a buddy who had gone that I hadn't gotten in touch with until after the show. Fear Factory hadn't even gone on yet. I missed a hell of a show. So I have heard of Fear Factory, and I know that I've heard, quite a few of their songs. The Black Dahlia Murder, I know I've heard the name of the band, but I am not sure as to what one of their songs is. So I will look into that here for the next round of whether or not I've heard a song by some of these bands that I have heard or possibly heard the name of. So let's put we got Fear Factory on there as yes. I definitely have heard of them. The Black Dahlia Murderer, as name, yes. Okay. Then we've got Exodus. I have heard the name Exodus. Name, yes. I'm not sure that I've ever heard anything by them. Cannibal Corpse, of course. I'm Gen X, dude. Yes, I know who Cannibal Corpse is. Marilyn Manson. I have seen 2 times live. Yes. Okay, so I saw Manson twice. The first time was, again, down at Bogart's at Cincy. This was for Antichrist Superstar Tour. And it was a good show, man. My feelings on Manson now, well, not just now, but like, dude, the Antichrist remix album, I enjoy it. Mechanical Animal and everything after that, complete trash. For me, I'm sorry, guys. Again, like, dude, okay, again, there are going to be a lot of y'all who watch this and listen to what I'm saying, and you're going to take it personal. You're going to get pissed at me. Like, okay, listen, guys. I'm not attacking your sister or your brother or your friend or your mom or dad or your aunt or uncle or your grandmother. I'm not, dude, listen, guys. You do not know these people in these bands, okay? It's okay. Like, like if I don't like something or someone, that's my subjective view. It's my opinion, right? Just like your subjective view is that you like them and you like their music, that it's good. That's cool. I don't care. I'm not trying to take that away from you. I'm glad that you enjoy. Dude, listen, if you still love Manson, like all through the, like you in the long haul, cool. Any of these guys, Rob Zombie, I got something to say about him too. We'll get to it. But I'm glad that you guys enjoy it. I hope you get fulfillment out of it. That's cool. I love music, dude. I hope y'all dig it. I dig a bunch of shit that y'all think is fucking stupid. But I wouldn't get mad at y'all for telling me that you think it's fucking stupid. I'd just be like, that's cool. And then I would engage in a conversation to try to see if, like, especially in this case where I'm like, I was a Manson fan. I was a big Manson fan, up until Mechanical Animal. So, like, in this situation, I'd be like, oh, well, this dude, like, he was a fan at one point in time. So, like, we got a couple albums that we can relate to, that we can talk about, that we both enjoy. There's always mutual interests in everything, dude. I would, yeah, everything, dude. You can find something that maybe not that are in common or mutual interest, but there's always a very interesting discussion to be had within topics, regardless of what they are. You just have to find a way to get there with people. Anyway, that's over. But I saw Manson twice. Once down in Bogarts and Cincy. That was a good show, man. That was a really good show. Then I saw him again up in Dayton, Ohio. The famous February show. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. L7 opened, and I've seen L7 in was it the Sub Galley? Down in Dayton on Brown Street, I think it was on. Saw them there once, like right up by the stage, but anyway, that's not Manson. And that show was a good show. It was a good show. Okay, then we got here, global exclusive performance of Astro Creep and Greatest Hits. Okay, hey, okay, Rob Zombie. Yes, like I said, I am familiar with Rob Zombie. I'm not a fan of his solo music. However, I am a big fan of White Zombie. I've seen White Zombie twice. It was awesome. My oldest niece's first concert ever was White Zombie back in late 90s when she was still in her mama's belly. That was awesome. His solo stuff, it's just so repetitive, dude. It's just repetitive and like, just blah. It's bland. No, thank you. We are now on stage 1 of Thursday, the opening night. The headlining stage here, as we'll call it, Winds of Plague, never heard of them. Municipal Waste, never heard of them, but every city has a lot of municipal waste working in Carcass, dude. Carcass. Yes, I am absolutely familiar with Carcass. Heartwork was one of the first metal albums that I ever owned. I still remember the first time I saw I heard them was a video of theirs I saw on MTV. Yes, Carcass, well aware. Cavalera performing Chaos AD, Sepultura. Seen there. Yes. Yes. I mean, I have to put because yes. I got nothing against Sepultura at all. There are a lot of their songs that I really do like. A lot of their songs that I really like. Down. Yes. I got a couple of their albums right down over yonder here. Yes. Lamb of God. Yes. Again, Gen Z or X. Uh, Gen X here. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that I just said that. Yes, I have. And Slayer. Yes, I have heard of Slayer. All right. So, guys, we got Thursday knocked out. And this will be part one of this video series here. So, we've knocked out Thursday, September 18th of Louder Than Life in Louisville, Kentucky. We've discovered that, let's see, let's do a final tally here. Of the 6 stages with all of the bands playing on day one, we have got one maybe, who is Drain. Maybe I've heard of them. We'll do some research here in the next round, which will be in about 4 videos. We got to get through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next. So we got Fear Factory, yes. We've got Black Dahlia Murder, the name, yes, I have heard of. Exodus, name, yes, I have heard of. Cannibal Corpse, I am aware of. Marilyn Manson, used to be a fan. Rob Zombie, yes, I know who that is, of course. Carcass, yes, I know who that is. Cavalera, yes. Down, yes. Lamb of God, yes. Slayer, looks like we got 11 bands out of, let me do the math here real quick. Looks like out of 41 bands on the first day, we've got like 10 or 11. What did I say? Slayer, Lamb of God, Down, Cavalera, Carcass, Zombie, Manson, Corpse, Cannibal Corpse, that is, Exodus, the Black Dahlia Murderer, Fear Factory. So yes, we've got 11 that I definitely have heard of. Possible 12 if I've heard of Drain. We will get that in the next round, which will be in a few videos. Everybody hit subscribe and ring that bell if you want to be sure and catch the rest of this series as I break down all of these 160 plus bands that are on the lineup for Louder Than Life 2025, as we find out how many of these bands I even actually have heard of, let alone how many I like. It's not looking good so far. So far, yeah, not looking good. Thank y'all very much. Until next time, everybody, which be looking out for part 2 here coming out soon. Till next time, everybody, have a great and safe night.